About to go live, got all eyes on me. Give a damn what they talk about, got soldiers ride with me. And they know I'm lethal. I got my reach. Said I was gonna get it. They gon' see, but they ain't gon' believe. Can't stop, I can't now. Hold on, let me get the breakdown. Train to go like a K now. I'm about to let my light shine. We piped up, tell the pipe down. These niggas selling pipe dreams. Baby girl, you sweet as ice cream, and I need, you better believe. Sit back, look at my cheeks. Why you had to check my demeanor? Competition ain't free. I'm about to take him to the cleats. They gon' get started depressed. Feeling I start no mess. These niggas petty, and I'm not impressed. I have him holding his chest, like he having heart attacks. Told you I'm hard to death. I know that they see it, but they don't believe. Look at him so misleading. 144, mission complete. We undefeated, you better believe. Fuck being equal, I'm unique. Drop a line note, like a bomb motor. Prepare for the fallout. One way solid, what you talking about? Me and my nigga bout to ball out. These little nigga better bow out. Tell her rank up, tell her fall out. I'm on my job, I can't call out. I'm in the wind, I want it all now. Don't give a damn about the track record, little nigga, you about to lose today. Look, I got moves to make. You can even move, you can get moved away. Choose your fate. Most of these fools, they fake. Ain't got a card to play. Nigga, ain't hard to break. It's gonna get dark today, like the rest of Sean told the hard way. Nigga, wait out of your league, please believe. About to go live, got all eyes on me. Give a damn what they talk about, got soldiers ride with me. And they know I'm lethal. I got my reach. I'm gon' get it, yeah. Know they gon' see, but they ain't gon' believe. Sick with it, now you know that. Fuck the world, I can't go back. Ain't no coward, I don't know that. Bitch, I'd rather take a toe tag. Run it up, you know I'm good to go. Work my ball, you know I'm good as gold. They want smoke, got revenge naked in my bedroom doing the Tootsie Roll. Big dog niggas, I'm trying. It's my time, you way out of line, way out of bounds. Oh, you ain't noticed the line. That on my flow is a pound. I know it's gon' be stressful, I know it's gon' be pressure. Gotta stay focused. It's a cruel world, baby girl. I should be a soldier, you should be my loaded. It feel like something controlling me, spirit take over me, holding me high react. Believe me, it's over, look over my shoulder, and I see my soldiers, and they ain't no play. He spitting fake, he real, but I'm real. Fucking leader, I don't feel him. Fucking God, I don't feel him. Cut his eye, I'm about to kill him. Wait, hold up, let me catch the rhythm. Okay, I got it, I'm ready. He cross that line, he gon' regret it. No high rock, I rock it steady. Hope he keep it going steady. You better believe me. Certified, one west solid, it ain't hard to test. Can't lie, this hard as hell. These people racist, nigga, better watch yourself. I'm getting this smell. Chasing them blue faces like I'm Gargamel. And I work too hard to fail. Glock with me, gotta guard yourself. You know why I keep it, they try to come get me, I'm squeezing, you better believe. About to go live, got all eyes on me. Give a damn what they talk about, got soldiers ride with me. And they know I'm lethal, I got my reach. I'm gon' get it, yeah. Know they gon' see, but they ain't gon' believe. Like that.
Y'all know what we do. Y'all know what we came to do. Huh? You young niggas ain't tough. You young niggas ain't tough. You young niggas ain't tough enough. I don't think y'all really wanna fuck with us. I told you we no bitches. I'ma need for you to listen while I paint this perfect picture. We not Christians, watch your mouth. Have them angels in your house. And them people bring you out. Bitch, you know we got that power. And you know we not no cowards. Oh, you on that bullshit? Well, I'm on it too. Oh, you think I'm bullshitting? Wait till I get with ya. If I gotta go to ground, I'ma shut the town down. I ain't about to stop until I hear stand down. All you gonna see is a lot of man down. You dealing with the men of war. We at war. I sided with the Lord of course. On one accord. We ain't never stopping now. You running now. All my niggas go to ground. We go to ground. You dealing with the men of war. We at war. I sided with the Lord of course. On one accord. We ain't never stopping now. You running now. All my niggas go to ground. We go to ground.
As I live, if I live, let me make one thing clear. The Lord is the only man I fear.
We are not the same. we not related. I'm not stuck on living. Death is a vacation. My camp undefeated. You cannot debate it. You just want the clout. We just want the greatest. I'm just trying to get it. If not, I'm trying to take it. Give me that. I say fuck the devil. You think I'm talking Satan? One West in my blood. I'm a UPK creation. We don't give a fuck. You can see it in our faces. Got it out the mud. Straight up out the base. The world done made me crazy. The world done turned crazy.
You dealing with the men of war. We at war. I sided with the Lord of course. On one accord. We ain't never stopping now. You running now. All my niggas go to ground. We go to ground. You dealing with the men of war. We at war.
They know about
I
that
sided
shit.
with the Lord of course. On one accord. We ain't never stopping now. You running now. All my niggas go to ground.
144,
we go
nigga.
to ground.
You see me riding with them people I be sliding with. We take the truth, ain't no denying it. It's this fire I spit, I got that line script. I put that pressure on them, about to put extra on them. This how the Lord is doing you. Boy, I tried to warn you. We go to ground, I own your time, yeah. You wanna blaze, we in them last days. They tried to keep my niggas locked up in them cages, yeah. I'm in pages, yeah. In them scriptures, yeah. I'm gon' flip it, yeah. I got that shit rockin'. Got that bulletproof heart and spirit, yeah. Retarded with this Glock, I'm gon' give it to you. You with them niggas that's gon' go to ground. Take over and you know your place. Make no mistake. There ain't gon' be no trace, ain't gon' be nothing left. Spit to my last breath, boy better watch yourself. I'm coming with lashes, hey leave them niggas in them ashes. I'm flowing like Cassius, they killing the masses. It's cool cause when I meet the king we gon' be masters. Yeah.
I hope Mike is going to do the right thing. I hope so. I hope so. Because if Mike Pence does the right thing for the election, all Vice President Pence has to do is send it back to the states to recertify and become president, and you are the happiest people. Mike Pence is going to have to come through for us. And if he doesn't, that will be a sad day for our country. Because you'll never take back our country with weakness. You have to show strength. You have to be strong.
I don't know what else you want, boy. Good night. What's going on, Akim? What's going on?
Good.
You too, Wild?
Wild, good to go, sir.
Most I in Christ. I don't know what they're talking about this time, but it's going to be a bad one for them.
Yeah.
It's going to be bad. I'm going to just play this back over one more time, man.
Because if Mike Pence does the right thing, we win the election. All Vice President Pence has to do is send it back to the states to recertify. And we become president, and you are the happiest people. Mike Pence is going to have to come through for us. And if he doesn't, that will be a sad day for our country. Because you'll never take back our country with weakness. You have to show strength, and you have to be strong.
Yeah, that's America the Great, but
yeah,
that's it right there. You know what I mean? Once again, Saturday night, holding it down for Commander Gen.YAHANNA, hardest working man in Israel. You know what I mean? He might come in tonight. You're not sure. He might not, but we're gonna rock it out still all the way through. You know what I mean? We have, of course, the usual crew. We have Captain Nine Fact, they're from North Carolina, holding on the Carolina. Captain Cahan holding down the South. You know what I mean? Wrap it up. All over the place. Yeah, Captain Nazana, yeah. Upstate New York, Syracuse, Albany, all that whole area, Buffalo. You know what I mean? Of course, you know what I mean? This brother need no introduction. Known angry black man media, Captain Sack. Yeah. You know what I mean? We're gonna rock it out tonight for sure. You know what I mean? On this whole January 6th situation here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Somebody had to lend some understanding to yikes.
Yeah. Fox trying to play it down. Fox trying to say that the gas price is more important than January 6th. are so serious. They're talking about, you know what I mean, this whole everything going up more important than, I mean, January 6th.
Yeah.
January 6th is, you know what I mean, just looking at that video alone, I mean, you would think the worst thing might be COVID, but the worst thing on this planet right now is a bunch of angry oppressors.
That's right.
Yeah. That's the worst thing, worst disease you could ever, you know what I mean, think about, you know what I mean, coming across. Them buggers, you look at that video, I'm telling you, if you are a black officer, I'm telling you, you more than likely, you know what I mean, ease on yourself.
That's right. I mean,
just a little, watching that crowd.
So like, if I could, what you said, Captain, I thought you're right. That the Caucasian 19. Like, what's the brother out there in California? Karak, Officer Karak, the Caucasian 19. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Not the COVID-19, the Caucasian 19. So like,
right.
If I could, sir, I bet these devils, in hindsight, now where they are now, are looking back at this and wish that this mob was even more in out of their minds than they were. Like this was supposed to have been their storming of the Bastille. This was supposed to have been their, you know what I'm saying, when they took over, you know what I'm saying, the parliament in Britain, and they threw the king out and established a parliament. Like this was supposed to have been their coup and their overthrow. They were supposed to go harder than they actually went. And the fact that they went as far as what we're seeing here and then got inside of the Capitol building and defecated in offices and stole laptops, it was like they missed the point of what they really were supposed to have been doing. They were supposed to really go in there and capture senators and hold people at gunpoint and really take over the government. But the fact that they kind of went into it but didn't go all the way into it, now they got to face the backlash, and that's where they are now. Like they, you know, embarrassed by their actions, but not that they did what they did, but that they didn't go all the way through with it. So like,
I feel for sure what you're saying, Slacky, because it not so much embarrassed, but they're looking at what they had to what they're facing now. And it's like, well, if I had to take this charge, it's best I had actually, did more. Because here is like, what's this footage say? The peace circle, the first breach of the Capitol ground. You know what I mean? This is the peace circle. You know what I mean?
Right.
I ain't sure if that's the description of the, the location on the grounds or if that's them. But if this was supposed to be their peaceful demonstration, right? And, they get in all these sedition charges and, plotting to overthrow the government basically and all that type of stuff, as you rightfully saying, they probably like, you know what, we should have done more if we're going to take this heat.
Right. So like you said.
Please.
Yeah. If I could though, Esau is a proud bastard. Like he's extremely proud. Like Esau loses a fight, he loses a war, and he still convinces himself that somehow he still won. It'd be like the Confederacy and the Confederate flag. You know what I'm saying? Like they still wave the Confederate flag around. Now, we not for the American flag, nor the Confederate flag. However, they don't think of it like, well, the Confederacy lost, so we should never ever wave this flag. But they still wave that flag. They still talk about the heritage of it and the tradition and the culture behind it. And it's just bugged out because they will lose wars. They lost Vietnam, but they will never admit that because they're so proud. And it's so crazy that, their name is the Proud Boys. So it's like even though they feel like, we ain't go through like how we wanted to go through, they still so proud and arrogant that they probably looking at this like somewhat of a victory. Like, Esau is just a pompous, he's just so pompous and prideful. Salaki, sir.
Like what you're saying, Azana also too. You know what I mean? This, as you say, this is the North and the South all over again. And the South, you're looking weak. Just letting you know, you're looking real week. You know what I mean? This is straight up.
They came from all over too, right?
Yeah. But the flag that they're flying, you know what I mean? That don't tread on me.
Don't tread on me and the Confederate flag, you mean?
Yeah. That like what Zana bring up. That is them trying to, bring that head back up. You know what I mean?
And after the riots, a lot of them was saying that this was just a test. This was a trial run. You know what I mean? That's why you had the ones who came into DC with the ammunition and the pipe bombs. Then you had the ones who didn't have no loaded magazines or nothing, just had the pieces on them because they're checking to see it's just a scrimmage then. It's just a scrimmage for them. But of course, they don't drink the Kool-Aid and expecting the thing to go one way, and the thing did not go that way. I think Pence turned cold at the last moment on them. Pence Judas the whole crew. You know what I mean? It was time for Pence to come in there and be like, charge! Pence, he Judas the whole crew. So they probably wasn't expecting none of this. But boy, it's gonna be a rough one, especially with the election coming up, and now is the time when they start campaigning. 2 years out, you know what I mean? They start campaigning. This is definitely them Democrats trying to derail the Republican wave. Weaken that Republican ship because from the gas prices to handling the Ukraine and Afghanistan. To the whole gun control situation right now, that whole Democrat Party taking some heat. They're definitely taking some heat, and definitely, they have some talking points against.
Right.
This is how they make sure he can come back.
Yeah, and that heavy point you bring out too, because all this, as I say, is really politics. Because they had this video sitting on somebody's desk all this time. This thing happened when January 6th, and the video, we now seen the video, they're now bringing out a whole committee on it. As I said, this could be, as I say, politically motivated to go against the Republican Party. You know, I mean, I don't give a damn, but at the same time too, you know, what I mean, is you know, what I mean, black people, Hispanics, and Native Indian, we need to wake up to this. You know, what I mean, this foolishness. This is the oppressors. This is, you know, what I mean, brothers fighting each other. You understand? Right. And we just gonna get caught in the middle as pawns. You understand? Trying to go, you know, what I mean, cast some vote for some people that don't even give a damn about you. Yes. You know what I mean? Right. Trump in office, you're gonna suffer. Biden in office, you're suffering. So what else you need? What a sign you need? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like as I say, we ain't got no horse in this race.
Yeah,
this really don't concern us, you know, as much as, you know, it concerns them. Like, look at this thing right here.
Look at Gallows and over there.
Gallows, boy.
It's a lot.
Please,
they had the Christian cross hanging up behind one of them nooses. It was a picture of it where they had the Christian cross. Some of them even had the white Jesus with the "Make America Great Again" hat on in the photo. They photoshopped it, but they had a big sign like that out there. And what you said earlier was so right, Captain Mashag and Captain I thought about that. You know, we warned that brother from the Proud Boys. What's his name? I forgot his name. The brother.
Tyrell.
And we warned him, and he just got charged with sedition. Commander Gen.YAHANNA warned him. You know what I'm saying, that he was going to be the fall guy. Right. And look what happened. You know what I'm saying? Like there are some of our people in these right-wing political groups and think that you're an American. Some of you have even denounced being black. I mean, of course, we know that we're Israelites, but just to denounce even, to denounce your heritage and denounce who you are, to just say, I'm an American. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like this right here is what go look. Now you check this out. Now you check. If you think the UPK is wrong, you look at that picture there. See, you Christians don't want to talk about that. Their white supremacy has to agree with their religion.
Yeah.
Their white supremacy has to agree with their political agenda.
That's right.
Everything has to revolve around their superiority. And but this same image is in your church, black churches. You know what I'm saying? And then you want to get mad with the UPK. Thomas Jefferson had made a quote where he said that democracy is nothing more, and he's considered one of the founding fathers of this so-called social experiment called America, this empire. He said democracy is nothing more than mob rule, where 51% of the population takes control, or I forgot how it goes, takes control over the 49%. Meaning when it's mob rule, meaning it's exercised through mob rule, meaning violence. You understand? Like everything that he has got, the I.S.U.P.K. Remember what we have taught you, brothers and sisters out there that's listening into our classes, that everything this man has gotten, he has gotten by the sword.
Yeah.
Right.
He didn't get this land through democratic. He didn't vote to get the Indians to turn this land over.
That's
and
right.
He didn't vote to get it to keep this land. Everything he's done by the sword. And that is what will happen, and it's going to continue to happen. And you're going to see it live streamed. They had this thing live streamed. They had this was an orchestrated, organized attack on the United States government by white people. They had communication devices. They had floor plans. And I've even heard that some of them even went on a tour, was given a tour the week before, where they know, and some of them, and let me tell you how you know that this was, that this is, I guess you said conspiracy, but how you know that it was an inside job, as they say.
Right.
They want to say, they quick to say 9/11 is the inside job, but they don't want to say January 6th is the inside job.
Right.
How is it? Some of those senators and those congressmen, they have offices that's not marked in that building. You can't get to some of their offices. You may get to their congressional aide's office, but you won't be able to know where their office is exactly at. It's not open to the general public. You have to have escort in some cases to get to the office. They knew exactly where those offices were. How is that? Regular civilians.
Right.
Because this was an inside job, man. You know what I'm saying? And this, like the captain's bringing out, it's time for us to separate. You're dealing with a dilapidated government. You understand? And in the middle of all this, you have a war with Russia. And don't think, which is why they're trying to hammer this thing down quick, because there's traitors in this house called America. And Russia is don't think Putin is not in the midst of this. Don't think that he's not sitting back and saying, how can I get, like, it's war. So he's trying to find any way he can, even if it comes down to the right-wing Republican government.
Right.
You understand? They will find a way to get involved in their social issues and political issues, and in the middle of a war. So they have to try to get rid of all these traitors, because in a war you can't have traitors, because they will destroy you from. Look at this here. The only thing missing is gasoline and fire on this cross.
Yeah.
And now we back in the 1950s. Look at this here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For all you Christians, can someone that's Christian explain this to the UPK?
If I could, right here, like this here is what this the two structures they just built, the three just showed, from the noose, the gallows with the noose, Caesar Borgia, and this cross.
Right.
This is, keep the scare on the Negro. They was not fighting in their minds. They're not fighting against, the Democrats, even though, of course, that's the Republican Democrat. But in their mind, what's fueling all of this is these black and brown people that they lose in the country to.
That's right.
And that's why this is that down here, like their sigils and their crest. Like if you go into war, how you would come with the Roman eagle and this and that. Right. This is down there their declaration and really who they go into war with, which is Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian. That's fueling what they're doing here. Because why else would you take a cross to the lawn, to the White House lawn, wooden cross,
exactly,
the picture and the noose? That noose, for all you know, that gallows probably was built for something else. But because Pence turned Judas, they're saying, "Where's Pence? We're gonna string our Pence." But maybe that gallows was for symbolic, or effigy, or something else that they had planned to demonstrate that day.
That's right, sir. So like yes, sir. And like Cap had already brought out, it's so sad that we don't separate from these people, because at the same time they outside the Capitol building bringing Caesar Borgia, the white Jesus, with the "Make America Great Again" hat on his head and the cross right there. At the same time, our black and brown politicians are inside the building praying to that same Jesus, praying to the same wooden cross, and they still haven't made the connection. You understand what I'm saying? I heard all the black and brown politicians say, "Oh, if that was black people, they would have shot us up." The politicians is saying that. Are they still in office? Yes. 2 years later, they still in office. You know what I'm saying? 2-3 years later, all this madness go on, and they're still in office, and they're still praying to the same God as the man that had the gallows out there trying to hang them. You know what I'm saying? And it's so sad how destroyed we are as a people. And we always say, the I.S.U.P.K is the home of the truth, because you can't have it in America. No. How can you not look at the destruction of the Capitol building and say, yo, America can't defend themselves. America can't take care of themselves. How are they going to take care of black and Hispanic people, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans? When they let them people crush that cop when his head was stuck in between the door, he's screaming while a door is pressing on his skull. I'm looking at black people like, and y'all still want to partake in it? You still want to follow everything?
If I could, sir, with this incident, just shows what we've been saying for years, that the Christianity, the religion that the slaves were given, was not the religion of the slave master. And what we're seeing here is our oppressor. He prays for the strength and the power to continue oppressing. Like he prays for the ability to go through what he got to go through in order to stay in power, while we are the ones who are suffering the oppression, from their actions. We pray to God to help us out. Like we pray for help to get free from the oppression. They pray for the strength to oppress.
That's
like
right.
that God and guns with Trump with the cross in the middle, and the you said the gallows and them devils out there praying with that cross on the line. They are praying that God give them the strength to go and do what they about to do now. Give us the strength to go and take over this government, to destroy these people who are infringing on our rights. Give us the power and the ability to look. They got John Wayne with the bill. Give us the strength to be able to oppress these niggas and keep them down, while the Christianity that been pushed on our people is the religion of God. You know, help us to forgive, help us to love, help us to, you know, join them when, man, brothers and sisters got to wake up to the truth and hear what it is that the priests and prophets of the I.S.U.P.K been saying on these streets, because this right here is never going to cause us to have anything but more and more suffering and more hell that we've been enduring in this place.
Yeah.
Right. Like they have, if I could, go ahead. Please. like they got 3 sons of the oppressors on the screen, 3 white men. 2 out of the 3 are absolutely known and accepted racists by everybody of every color. John Wayne is he's known. He's the epitome of you know kill the Indian, save the man.
Yep,
that's it. Trump is the rough them up, beat them in the head, make America great again. So
Mexicans rapists.
All Mexicans are rapists. And then in front we have Caesar Borgia, who our people think is Jesus Christ. Now, if show me your friends, I'll tell you who you are. Was a police. then Caesar, then white Jesus got to be racist too.
That's right.
Yeah,
got to be racist too.
If he hanging with them boys,
if he hanging there with them, and he fit in right, he fit in good and right, and even the whole imagery with the white, the red, and the blue, the whole Roman triumvirate thing. We're wearing the white and what it represents. And right in front of the White House as well with the eagle, the Roman eagle. Like if you still believing in Christianity after seeing this play out, it's damn near like the Lord is trying to show you for sure who Satan is and why you need to separate. Because this right here, boy, it's supposed to be crystal clear to you now that the religion of the oppressor is why we slaves.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's like if I could, it's so heavy what you're saying, Captain. I could just amplify what you bringing out is so right, and I hope a lot of our listeners that's tuned into the Black Watch and that subscribe to the Black Watch and know what Commander GEN.YAHANNA has been bringing out is correct. That they see this, that this is the religion of the state. That's what you did. Like the state, there is no separation of church and state. That's the mystery of Babylon. You understand? Like the state supports the religion and the religion supports the state. And this right here, to have all these 3 figureheads, and the imagery is so important. Once again, going back to the images of what they deem as whiteness. In this picture, white means America. You don't see a picture where a whole, and even if you did, even if you did have a conglomerate of all different races, the white person would be at the top. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is why we say what we say and try to warn our people, man. Like, this thing here is coming to a head, and it's coming to a head more and more. More and more when you see these different type of actions go on, like the January 6th sedition. And it was definitely treason on their own government. But that's how they survived. That's what they did when they broke away from the British. That's treason. Like, he has no loyalty to no one but himself. And the general has already prophesied that the failure of January 6th means that now they're going to go on a local and state level now. These riots are going to be more locally and state concentrated. Once again, going back to those soft targets we talked about. They're going to go to the local state house now. They're going to do these types of things to take over smaller areas. You understand? Like the scriptures had already prophesied, they gonna decide to go in cities that don't have walls, meaning protection.
Right.
They can respond quick to. You understand? And take over those governments, man. So be ready, man. Salaki. I yield.
That's right. It's like black people, Hispanics, and Native Indians, you better wake up quick. We in the middle of a crisis started by one and only oppressor. You have your Russians and the America fitting to go to war, Ukraine, your gas prices hiking up. Then you had to deal with this crap, with this insurrection. You understand what I'm saying? Like you know what I mean? We're not buying because the oppressor, he is not civil. He can't, you know what I mean? He's a bad landlord.
Right.
You understand? Real bad landlord. You know what I mean? And we had to sit back and, you know what I mean, be under pressure. We had to go to the gas pump, cover your eyes, close your eyes, and hope, you know what I mean, hope for the best while you're filling that tank.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Because oppressors can't deal with each other. You understand? So if they can't deal with each other, guess what? They're for sure ain't gonna deal with you, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians.
Right.
You know, the Mexicans and them crying right now for Title 42. You begging them while they fighting and, you know what I mean, trying to get over on each other. They ain't have time for you.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
That Title 42 is just, you know, that's just fuel for the political for the political race. They're not really gonna, you know, overturn that thing. They're not gonna do nothing with that. You know what I mean? Like everything that's coming up now is what they're dangling because of the politics. You know what I mean? And that's really what they're into. Like this picture here is such a heavy picture. Like, okay, even though John Wayne's shirt is kind of pink, that's more on the red side. And you see he have the gun. And you know, in Rome, them colors, the red symbolize the war. You're going to war with the blood. The blue was for the public servants. You know what I mean? And that's what Trump is, you know, the politicians, and the white was notoriously for the clergy and stuff like that. So now, like, you know, they have this picture here, men of God grappling with masculinity and Christianity in the age of Trump is damn near saying, like, we trying to figure Rome out today. That's damn near saying that, and these are the men of God. These is, you know, this is how they look at as the men of God. But of course, God's people get nothing. You know what I mean? People get nothing. And if you look at the globe that Caesar Borgia holding, it's broken. And it's broken. It's damn near cut America in half. I don't know if you've seen it. You understand? If you look at that little globe, it's split. And that's what they're trying to say. Like, the country is split. So now, you know, they have to go to war, just like how Rome was falling apart. Like they damn near know the whole thing, and it's so. If I could get us one scripture, please, Sack G, if you don't mind pulling this for me. Mark 3, and you could start at 24.
Want me to get it, sir?
I got it. Mark chapter 3, verse 24. And if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand.
You understand? And that's exactly what we're witnessing right here. This is a kingdom divided against itself. This is a kingdom, you know, where you have soldiers at war with Afghanistan, and then you have politicians bringing Afghanis home. You get the point? Like, this is a kingdom divided against itself. Go ahead.
And if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand.
You understand? And their house is divided for sure. The White House is divided. The Capitol is divided. The police force is divided.
Right.
You understand? They're all divided against themselves. You imagine that them cops who arrested Peyton Gendron, you had brothers on that scene holding him. Imagine what they felt like doing versus what the oppressor cops, the white cops, wanted to do, which was take him in nice.
That's correct.
This place is so polarized. It's heavily polarized right now. Like, there's no room for middle ground. Absolutely no room for middle ground. You can't be on the fence. It's old school on the playground or the basketball court or on the football fields where, you know, you have two sides and they're picking, and that's it. Ain't nobody left behind. You're gonna have to pick a side. You know what
That's right.
Please keep reading up.
Verse 26. And if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand, but has an end.
And that's what's going on. Like they are at their end. They are definitely at their end with this situation here. Like, okay, the last time something like this probably could have happened. Not storming the Capitol, but being split like this was with that civil war. And you had the slaves in the palms of your hands. Now the slaves running free. Now the slaves at the border, 15,000 strong caravan.
Right.
Now you have Afghanis in the country, Ukrainians in the country. You had war with Russia, and your own people storming your own sacred places. Like, the Bible is not lying. Satan is fighting Satan right now, and this his kingdom is at an end.
That's right.
You know what I mean? It's absolutely at an end. Absolutely, you know. That's it. Like, what else you want? You trying to save her? J. Cole said she don't want to be saved. Don't save her. Let America go. You know what I mean? I don't know. Kahan, you wanted that article read?
Oh well, yeah. I wanted to pull a scripture, please. But I had posted that quote that Thomas Jefferson said about democracy, in the chat. But like I said, I think I kind of quoted it a little bit. But if I can get I want to pull that scripture in Deuteronomy 7:25, where the Lord talks about these things will be a snare unto us. We follow their religion, and when we talk about religion, understand religion is political.
That's right.
A lot of people want to. The politics is, you can't separate religion from politics, and the Bible here goes into that. So you see, you know what I'm saying, when you talks about, here it is right here, where Thomas Jefferson brought up democracy. You understand? And he talks about it was nothing more than mob rule. You understand? I think it might be a little bit further down, but for sure, you know what I'm saying, this is what goes on in a democracy. You know what I'm saying? Like how the so-called founding thieves or the founding fathers, how they operated. You understand? They knew what it was about. Now, it didn't say that the one that had the most percent was right. It just said the number, that whoever was stronger would be right. Might is right. So they lived. That's how they operated, and that's how they got this government. That's how they got their economy and everything else. So if I could pull, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Captain.
I was just gonna say that, like that's that only the strong survive, or survival of the fittest. That's that whole, you know, that type of philosophy where, you know, it's just power. It's that's all it is. Whoever have the numbers on that day, you know, win, which is so opposite to how the Lord operate. You know what I mean? Like they have that Philistine mentality, because we have Goliath and a huge army. We gonna take it, and they discount the Lord. You know what I mean? That's what I wanted to jump in there with you.
Damn right, Cap. Damn right. Soccer War, I can get Deuteronomy. If you can give me Deuteronomy 27 and 25, my brother.
Come on, I got it right here, sir. It's Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 25. The graven images of their gods shall ye burn with fire. Thou shalt not desire the silver or gold that is on them, nor take it unto thee, lest thou be snared therein. For it is an abomination to the Lord thy God.
You understand? We ain't supposed to desire what they have, man. You understand? And a key to their silver and gold, their politics. I can't tell you how many times these politicians have put their foot in the mouth. And then when the heat is turned up, guess what they started sounding more like? The U.P.K.
That's right.
They like I forgot who said it. I don't know, you Captain Soccer War or Captain Zania, where they were talking about the politicians, where they said that if there was black people, what would have happened? Right. Like they used a race-based example. Notice this. They pulled the race card when the heat got turned up. They said if this was black people, why can't it be all people?
Right.
Why does it have to be black people? Because now you start to see. You know what I'm saying? When the heat is turned up, everyone knows that the U.P.K. is right. They all know. Right. Don't think with these brothers out here speaking in these cities, don't think the mayor having drove out, he sent a congressional aide or aide down there to listen to what you guys talking about, because they want to know what's going on in the city. They want to check the temperature. They want to check the racial climate that's going on with black people.
That's right.
And what better place than the streets?
Right.
And we all know who runs the streets. We all know who's in the streets, and that's the UPK.
Yeah.
We all know that. So they are listening to the talking points of us. You know what I'm saying? On the World Wide Web and on the streets of America. So they know what we're saying is the truth. And they and don't think that we are not going to have our Nicodemus moment. That's going to happen. They're going to come to you by night.
Yeah.
They can't be seen with you in the daytime because they know that we're considered a quote unquote hate group.
Right.
That we've been labeled extremists. And we've been labeled all these different fictitious titles. But they're going to come to the UPK. Why? Because they want to know what God's plan is for the nation of Israel.
Right.
What must we do? You understand? So I just want to give a shout out to all the brothers that's pounding that ground out there, man. The UPK all day long, man. We in these cities, man. And boy, let me tell you, we chipping away at this place. Lord knows we chipping away. And nobody can argue with us. They can try, but the ammunition is so, I mean, forget about it. Argue with the gas pump.
Yep.
Yeah. The reason you paying that much for gas, you know why? Because two groups of white people can't get along.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah. Argue with Supreme Unleaded. Argue with that. You understand? Everything that UPK has said is spot on, and we getting validated more and more as time go on, as we get closer to our King's return, as we get closer to edifying our brothers and sisters out there. Come into this body, man, this body of Christ, the only body of Christ. Christ is not divided. I yield, Captain.
That's right.
Yeah, you so right. You so right. I'm gonna just play a little bit more of this this video here from I believe it's CNN. You get a little bit more, and then you could jump some stories afterwards. But I know this thing here is gonna unfold ridiculously next few days. You know, especially them Proud Boys, because they're not in it like they think they're in it. They're in it like a fraternity.
Yeah.
They're not really some kind of militia who been training
about it.
Yeah, they're really just like the mascot down here, and they are going to turn coat on everybody and start to talk and call names. Don't be surprised if some of them boys end up dead. Don't be surprised. You know what I mean? This rabbit hole here is super deep and treacherous. Wait, what he said?
White power sound like.
I thought he said white power, or did he say one power?
I don't know.
White power.
I'm trying to see if it's in our captions. I don't know.
Well, no. He said push forward.
Push forward.
Push forward.
Like
He said
Okay.
Okay, all right.
I went to high school. I went to high school with nothing but Edomites, so I be catching them, especially when they drunk. I know what they saying. I didn't put an ear to it. I went to college with all the Edomites drunk as hell. So I used to. Okay, I got it.
You gotta train there.
Yeah. Like a dog whistle or something. Yeah.
Ansel here, Captain Meshach too. The brother in the beginning of the video, before he played it, he said that this don't be fooled. This was not at all. What you're about to see here is tape you have never seen before.
Yep.
You understand? Because they're pushing this. Okay, they're really downplaying what took place on January 6th.
Yeah.
They're downplaying it as, like nothing really happened. They were just angry, and they just, wanted to vent. You understand what I'm saying? When it was way more than, just that. People lose their life. People got injured. Brothers you know what I mean, got injured, you know what I mean? And they some cops, some of them cops coming forward and they're telling you what actually took place. You know what I mean? Some of them can't go back to work right now because of this whole incident. You know what I mean?
And if I could, sir, you know, this all occurred in the midst of, like you said, right before the election. Like Esau knows that this place is falling and this place is almost at the end. And that whole storm in the Capitol was really them trying to take hold of the government, you know what I'm saying? Because with the, like right now, the coronavirus put almost a 2-year hold on what it is that we're seeing now with the economy, with the rising of the gas prices. Like this was already going to happen before that government shut down. Before they shut the government down, they sent everybody out them stimulus checks. The economy was already failing. The gas prices was already about to be rising. You know what I'm saying? And so Esau, coming out of the coronavirus, coming out of the shutdown, saw we ain't going to recover from this. Like the illusion of what America is, you know what I'm saying, was already, they knew it was about to hit the fan. So Donald Trump getting up there and giving that speech and talking about we got to show force and we got to take the government back and we got to fight, you know what I'm saying, for the wrong has been done with this election. That was their way of fighting against being in the position that they're in now, you know what I'm saying? And so by them failing to take over that government, with Biden getting elected, with the war going on over there in the Ukraine, with the seeing what's happening with these gas prices, America is never going to recover and go back to the place that it was. You know what I'm saying? Them people went down there to march and to protest and to fight and to take over the government because they were trying to avoid what America is going through now and it's going to go through these next few months as these other elections come up, man. This place is never going to return to the way it was. And I thank the Most High in Christ for Commander General Yohanna and the I.S.U.P.K, because if it wasn't for this show and for this message that we've been putting out, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians would have no hope in this place. It's only because of the prophets of God showing us the truth that's in this Bible and giving us the answers to the problems that we're facing. Can we as a people have a vision of how we're going to escape the madness that this place is going to devolve into? But as for our oppressor, this is it. What we're seeing take place now is what was prophesied to take place. But for us, there's a way we can escape it if we turn to the Most High, man.
So, like, if I could amplify what you're saying, Captain Soccer War, and they believe what they believe is they believe that they're gonna invade the Capitol and then re-upload the Constitution, America 2.0. That's what they think. See, the Bible said that their inward thoughts is that their houses will continue forever.
That's right.
But after this kingdom, there will be no more kingdom for them. And this is how we know what the scripture in Revelation talks about, that he is going to come down with great wrath because he knows his time is short. And people were shocked by seeing some of this footage that Captain Meshach is showing to everybody out there. Some of this footage has never been seen before. And you get to see the animalistic nature of how he acts when he loses 1 inch of power.
That's right.
We're not talking about a government, because the government, the articles of the Constitution was still in the Congress. They weren't burned. They were encased and enshrined in the Congress. And that wasn't enough from them. They needed to go in and bring a Confederate battle flag. Do you know that, and now you gotta understand something, man. When you talk about war, Captain Nathak brought it out earlier. The Civil War still holds precedent in their mind, in their mental state. They had not only the "Don't Tread on Me" flag, they had numerous flags. But when they got the image of the Confederate flag inside that building, a battle flag, it struck a nerve with a lot of those Democrats.
Right.
But we told you in the I.S.U.P.K, we told you on the streets of America that a war has to be won, not only physical, but political. The North won the political war, the physical war, but the South won the political war, because they're still able, that flag shouldn't even be able to be hung. They shouldn't even have that flag out there. But it lets you know that white supremacy, that is white privilege, that you're able to bring all those flags, they don't matter. They don't care what flag you fly as long as white supremacy rules it.
Mm-hmm.
They don't care. They'll take white supremacy under any flag, including the Russian flag.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They'll take it. Don't think they wouldn't.
Yeah.
I yield, Captain.
You so right with the flag, because that's damn near like a whole, like another country with another principles, another moral code, halfway a damn near another constitution, and they flying that flag in the sacred place where that one flag of the United States of America flying in it ain't no different than if the British come and put the flag in there, or the Japanese come and put the flag in there. That it's the height of disrespect.
Mm-hmm.
Height of disrespect and intent to overthrow the established status quo. So you're so right about that with the flag.
Mm.
You know what I mean? It's
Right.
We can't hold this. We're gonna get too many fucking people. Look at this fucking bandit when they were fucked.
Look at, oh my goodness.
Yo,
man. Well, he's scared.
Translation: look at how many effing white people.
Look at this fucking bandit when they were fucked.
He said, "Look at this vantage point. We effed."
Yo, he's such a fucking coward.
Listen, that's Satan fighting Satan. That is Satan fighting Satan. Now, he see those people there and he say, look at that vantage point, we're F. But when black people protest, you all get militarized and ready to kill us and lock us up and split our heads. Y'all don't see it as, look at that vantage point, we're F. Y'all see it as a call to war.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see it as a call to war. It sounds like your priorities are highly misplaced. As a security officer, it sounds like your priorities are all the way misplaced. Like, this is not a call to war for you, but black people protesting the murder and lynchings and slayings of innocent black and Hispanic people on the streets of America for nothing.
Right.
Like, that's not a call to war. You know what I mean? Like, no, that's not, we're effed. We had a run, we had a retreat, we had a backup.
Right.
But this year is, that's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
And Salakia, sir, I know I'm being a little, devil's advocate, as they say, but it's crazy because our protest, though, it's sad, is led by women and dancing and twerking. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And the LGBTQ flags waving around. So I'm just thinking from the point of my enemy, he looking at us like, oh, that's easy, that's light, that's fish in a barrel, that's easy work compared to he knows himself. Satan know himself. He know what he capable of. You know how much of a beast and a snarling bastard he is. You know what I'm saying, sir? So when he look at us with a protest, you're absolutely right. It's free reign.
Yeah,
and like Captain Kahan had brought out about politics being religion, it's the same thing. I don't understand how people think that there is a separation between church and state when this is it. This is your belief. They go all out for what they believe in politics, and black people follow suit. They follow suit just like Esau, or how Esau wants them to follow suit with the politics being religion. You go to any black church during election time, they're gonna have all the politicians in the church. They're gonna have, after President Obama, I went by a church to go pick up a family member in the church. Right, as soon as you enter the door, they got this huge poster of Barack Obama hanging up at the church. I thought it was a separation between church and state. It's not. It's not. This is religion right here. This is all out your heart's desire, our belief. This is our God. This is our commandments. This is what the Bible is saying that we need to do. Salakia.
And if I could, just to reiterate what Captain Azania was saying and piggyback off that heavy point Captain Kahan dropped, that separation of church and state is an American illusion. It's a lie. It's fictitious. It does not exist anywhere else on the planet. and never has in any civilization. You go anywhere on earth right now, what the people believe is directly tied into how their government is run. You go over there in the Middle East and tell them that there's a separation between church and state. Go to China and tell them that there's a separation between church and state. Go to any of them nations that got nuclear power. There's no separation between church and state. The government, you understand, and the will of the people is tied into their belief system and what they believe in. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Only in America was that something that was taught and propagated to us, so that as black people were given the religion of Christianity, it would keep us docile while we faced the oppression of a government that just does whatever the hell is in their best interest, while we gotta, you know what I'm saying, take low. But that whole separation of church and state is just a lie, something that was taught here in America to keep blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians in line, while the oppressor went and did what he wanted to do with his government that is completely in line with his belief system.
Right. Go ahead, please.
No, I just want to say something, man. Like, I remember that whole thing with Barack Obama, man. You go in a church, you know, and you would be looking to hear word from God, as they say. And then the first thing come up is Barack Obama. You know, we got our first black president. They used the race card, and they made it, the pulpit, a political platform for every Democratic politician in those churches, man.
That's right.
They took up money that your tithes and offerings went to their campaign.
That's right.
This is what you don't understand. And you want to get mad at the UPK when Commander GEN.YAHANNA speaks about the financial, the spiritual and physical financial audit that's coming to these churches from God, because they robbed God.
That's right.
The same thing the Pharisees and Sadducees did in that time with the Romans, with the money changers, robbing the people. That's what these churches have done. And you black Democrats and black Republicans, you're going to have to answer. And you Hispanic ones too, Latino brothers and sisters too.
That's right.
You're going to have to answer for this, because this is where you've been putting your prayers at. You go to a church or go to these Democratic conventions, they having a Planned Parenthood in there, and you having everybody stand for prayer.
That's right.
When you sponsoring Planned Parenthood, you go to CPAC with the Republicans, and you having them stand for prayer when it's under white supremacy. What God you praying to?
That's right.
See, we gonna get real. You got to stop playing with the UPK, man, because we gonna call you out.
That's right.
This where your financial contributions, your tithe should be going into, because men here live by the law. We answer to the law. We violated. We got to answer to that, man. We got structure in here, man, and we gonna see what God say to do, man. You understand? So that whole thing was going on with these politicians, and see, now we at a crossroads, like I said earlier, because now you have the COVID, in which they turn even that into a political issue. How are you gonna turn a health issue into a political issue? These white people are mad, man. You dealing with people who have no sense, no righteousness, you know, nowhere in their, you know, like the Bible say, no truth in him.
That's right.
You understand? Like, these people here, they will politicize a health issue.
That's right.
Even when it's killing the general population, they will politicize. Now, all them years you've been wearing a Ku Klux Klan mask, you can't put on a regular a mask to put on your face.
Right.
You've been wearing all we can see with your eyes, and all we can see is your eyes and a little hole for you to breathe out of. You've been wearing them Ku Klux Klan masks in Mississippi for all them years, and you want to wear regular masks. Stop playing with the UPK.
Wow. God, in the hot sun.
Right, in the hot sun, with the cross on fire, and you didn't say it was too hot under that robe and that cone shaped mask you had on your head.
Right.
But now you want to come out here talking about we don't want to wear a mask. Nigga, I'm slacking. Listen, man, listen. Like these white people are hypocritical, man, but we ain't forgot. Right. That's why it's good for you brothers and sisters, man, to pay attention, man. This geopolitical spectrum that we in, this is exactly what happens when a economy and a system collapse. You are seeing the cracks of it now. And depending on who they indict from this January 6th, a lot of people gonna get off too because of their political ties. Some of these people that was involved in this were high up. They had gubernatorial candidates that was there. You had lawyers. These weren't just regular hobos that was down there.
Right.
You had doctors. You had lawyers. You had people who were part of financial. Look at this here in your local grocery store. You see that? Like, man, this is what goes on. But that same devil won't wear a mask to protect people from COVID.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this is such, I mean, we in such a crossroads, but we in the time that the prophet spoke about.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. We in the end, brothers and sisters. I yield, Captain.
Yeah, and Salakia too, as you were saying, with how you all bringing all the point with separation of what church and what politics.
Church and state.
Church and state. How you doing that? I don't understand. Somebody had to explain to me how you separating your belief from your basically your slavery from politics. You can't do it. That's like like Biden. He wants to push abortion, but he wants to be a Catholic at the same time. So we're really telling me, you understand what I'm saying? Like it's confusing. It's, you know what I mean? That's why you have this whole transgender, this whole, you know what I mean, trying to take away this whole binary gender. You understand what I'm saying? It's just a bunch of crazy people running this place.
Yeah.
You know what I
mean? Sir. I'm just saying it real quick. I know we got to move, sir. Salakia.
Go ahead, please.
That's y'all bringing this out. The funerals in Buffalo for the 10 that were murdered, massacred, and slaughtered, our people, right? They had Al Sharpton and Kamala Harris at the funeral. And I'm sitting there listening to Al Sharpton, and he brings up, oh, that baby inside you, that's not a baby inside of you, it's an embryo. And I'm just like, you had a black funeral? My mind was blown. Like, y'all done just fully gave politics over to all your belief, to this slithering snake bastard, Al Sharpton. Like, that's not a baby, that's an embryo at a funeral for your grandmother, the 86-year-old sister. And I'm sitting here like, man, Most High in Christ, I'm not inside the church building. You know what I'm saying? Because I would have had to grab up him by his collar, like, you had a funeral, man.
Yeah.
And you saying you talking to the pregnant sisters in here that's not a baby inside of you, it's an embryo. You politicizing our death.
Yeah.
You're making a plea for politics so that you can get elected, or this person or that person can get elected through the Democratic Party about abortion and we had a crime scene, we had a funeral. How disgusting have we become? And the sad part is, when he said that, everybody in the crowd erupted and started applauding, cheering for what he just said. That's how destroyed and lost we are, man. It's a lot.
Like as you say, he politicizing our death with more death. Like this man, he done massacred, people in a elderly people who can't defend themselves,
right?
Weak, feeble, and they're the ones who we have to look after in any community. The elderly, how you treat the elderly, it shows. So like after that happened, you now come and damn near, low-key green lighting, killing another section of our community who can't defend themselves, which is the baby.
Right.
That's the advantages for them for the separation of church and state.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say.
That's what it is. They have some called the establishment or the establishmentarianism, right? Where they have to separate, the certain authoritative seats or certain structures in order to do certain things that they want to do. But the Bible talked about it long ago. I think it was in 1800s or late 1800s when that phrase was coined. The separation of church and state by one of them presidents. But that whole theory existed way before. That existed way before. And in the scriptures, in what First Samuel 15:23, it says, "For rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry." You understand? Like, separation of church and state is rebellion.
Yeah.
It's absolutely rebellion, because your church, and I'm using the word church loosely, quote unquote, but we're talking about that government of God, the Godhead in the Bible. That is the state. So there's no separating one and the other, but they come with that talk again. You know, he come with smooth words, but war is in his heart. There's no separation of church and state, but the argument gives you room to do what the hell you want to do.
That's it.
It's really rebelling against what the Lord done laid down. You know, whole democracy is totally antichrist.
That's right.
Totally antichrist. I don't care what nobody say. That's why they stormed the Capitol, because there's a vote. Did anybody ever try to storm David's throne?
Nah.
They fought over it, but they ain't no storming that and trying to win no damn election over it.
Right.
That is totally antichrist, and that's where that once you see more of that happen, more of that coming to the fore, that whole separation of church and state is really, they want the room to be able to do whatever the hell they want without being accountable to the Lord, because there's no the Bible is hundreds of years old, thousands of years old. There's no second amendment to a verse. There's no new additional section to a verse, but you could change the Constitution though. You could change government policies and laws and the current interpretation or something. But when it comes to what the Lord said, there's no private interpretation and there ain't no amendment. There's no amendment for sure. They have to now separate church and state, which is really separate God from the people.
That's right.
You have to do that in order to continue. So like
no, damn right, Cap. What you said, listen, it's spot on. And how you know what Cap Mashak said was so right, because Christ came in the New Testament and said, "Not one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law." Right. So he made it clear, because them bastards were trying to do exactly what Cap Mashak brought out. He said it wasn't no amendment. Them bastards were trying to amend the law. He said, "Nah, not one dotting of an I, crossing of a T, gonna pass." You understand? To all be fulfilled. He let them know. You understand? So these churches, like Captain Azania said, politicizing these deaths of our people. You know what I'm saying? Using it for a political platform. These are the same ones that crucified Christ. Christ was crucified through a vote. A lot of y'all don't know that out there. But if you get in these classes, you're going to understand that there was some campaigning against Christ. You understand? They had to crucify his character before they crucified him. You understand? I yield, Captain.
If I could, sir, if I could just pull the scripture on what y'all bringing out, is Micah chapter 3 verse 11, and this is what occurs when you allow for something like the separation of church and state. This is how you have the Al Sharptons of the world and the Jesse Jacksons who say that they are men of God, but then they go out and they promote and they teach something that goes completely against the Bible in order to, propel themselves politically. Micah chapter 3 verse 11, the heads thereof judge for reward, and the priests thereof teach for hire, and the prophets thereof divine for money. Yet will they lean upon the Most High and say, is not the Most High among us? None evil can come upon us.
Perfect. Yeah.
Like
all right, Sacco.
That's it right there. You know what I mean? The prophets and the teachers, they are for hire. So whoever's paying the most money, that's what their politics are.
Right.
But then they stand before the people and say, "Oh, the Lord is with us. Look at how God blessed us. Look at how big this building is. Look at the nice car I got." You know what I'm saying? In the church, they tell you who to vote for. Church, when the goddamn election coming up, they say, "This is who we want to vote for, and let's pray for him in the name of Jesus." I remember when Donald Trump was going to get elected, they goddamn had the pastors come put a prayer shawl on him, anointed him.
That's right.
And goddamn, whatever they anointed him and prayed over him, it's garbage and it's nonsense, and we should just get back to doing what the Lord said to do. So
that's right.
You for sure so right. I just paused that down footage right there as you was breaking it down, because like as you saying, they think the Lord with them. Like they treat this damn cop like a Cabbage Patch dollar.
Yes. And he ain't reached one time for their gun anyways to protect himself.
No.
Right.
I watched that them gun on them men hip, and they didn't reach one time to take it off.
Nah. Then confuse the gun with the taser, not that. You know what I mean? They didn't reach and then, you know, pull it back and grab the taser, nothing like that. Because again, there's a separation of church and state. Like the Lord is nowhere there, but both sides believe the Lord is with them. Both sides believe the Lord is with them, but the Lord is not with them. And you know, down there, like they destroy themselves, like so many battles in the Bible, where Israel reach or the prophets reach, and the two sides who was trying to destroy Israel start fighting each other.
Yeah,
right.
You know what I mean? It's down here like that.
If I could, sir, if I could just come from the conspiracy corner for 1 second, right?
Please.
Captain Hunter talked earlier. I remember when leading up to this whole January 6th thing, there was devils talking about from I be, you know, ear to the streets, right? So a lot of these devils in these patriot movements, a lot of them were talking about flying to DC before January 6th. And they were talking about how this was going to be a major event and it was going to be, you know, it was going to be altering for the nation, and how this was the, you know, it was going to be a what's the word I'm looking for? Like a major flashpoint in the history of America.
Right.
A lot in this crowd is a lot of your law enforcement in these different states.
That's right.
In this crowd is a lot of your sheriffs and a lot of these militias of these groups in these different states. Those are the people that are responsible for policing you.
Right.
All out of this whole thing, the first thing they did was go to the Capitol Police, and the man who was in charge of the Capitol Police had to resign because he had shown such gross neglect and not having the Capitol Police prepared for this incident that they was like, well, he had to be in on it.
Right.
A lot of these police, with them not pulling their guns and not firing against these folks, with the Metro Police wasn't even prepared, right? But then with the Capitol Police, it's almost like a lot of them just laid down and let these people come in.
Yeah.
And like I said at the beginning of the show, I know these devils is looking at this and saying, man, we dropped the ball. Like, I don't know if it was Biden that doing what he was supposed to do. Donald Trump tweeted about it. I didn't mean to say Biden, I meant Pence. I don't know who dropped the ball, but this was supposed to have been their takeover. This was supposed to have been break into that goddamn Senate, get Nancy Pelosi, get all the rest of them, put them in handcuffs, take them to the guillotine, march them out on the front of the Capitol steps with the AR-15s pointing at their head. But somewhere, somebody didn't do what they were supposed to do, and now they're going to go to jail. Now they're going to make examples out of these devils for what they did. But this wasn't a light thing that these devils came together to do. They came together to really take over the government, prop Trump up, and, you know, erase, like you say, erase the Constitution or re-upload the Constitution. Like, this wasn't just a small thing for them. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was fully in these devils' minds and hearts that they was going to take over the government and reclaim, you know what I'm saying, this country for themselves and all that other rhetoric they spew. But the Lord had it all come to naught, and now we're seeing how it's playing out in the politics. You know what I'm saying?
I hope they watching. I hope they watching I.S.U.P.K, because we would have had all them Edomites kissing boots. If they posted us up there, we'd have had 100,000 boot kisses. They need to really learn how to operate and get militant, know how to be a police force. They scared and running back and getting beat all up. And that's ridiculous, man. They need to watch Commander General Yohanna and the I.S.U.P.K and see how we operate and just give everything to us. Just might as well just hand it back over to us under our King Yahweh Shai Mashiach. So
it's like, if I could, and you could still see some of them crosses. Some of them had them little crosses, but this was it was a political crusade as well as a religious crusade. They went in there, and you got to remember, now you just saw some of them with had the wooden cross in the beginning. Then now when you think black people, when you think of Christianity, you think of nonviolence. I know that's what you think of. Don't tell me, because that's what you profess.
Right.
But when white people, their Christianity is totally different.
Yeah.
Their Christianity, they went in there and it was a crusade. These people just got done praying and they're beating police officers. And some of them were beating them with a back to blue flag or Police Lives Matters flag.
Yeah.
And like what Captain Soccer War said, there was numerous law enforcement, a lot of retired, and active military people in this protest. I'm sorry, not protest. This insurrection.
Mm-hmm.
So you had all of this going on, and then there was one video where the police is talking to one guy, telling him to back. He's saying, "I'm one of you. I'm one of you," meaning I'm white and you white, or I'm law enforcement and you law enforcement. Whatever it was, we know both of them was white.
Mm-hmm.
But he said, "I'm one of you." Like this right here, man. I mean, like, boy. Now you imagine this on a local level for all you black local politicians. I want to paint a picture for you tonight. You imagine this happening at your office. You imagine this happening at your house. Because don't believe that they just busted a white man for getting Justice Kavanaugh's. He found his address online and came in front of his house armed. They had to arrest him. Don't think that you're not accessible in these politics. That's what we want you black and you Hispanic and Native American Indian politicians to understand, which is why you need political and religious consultation from the I.S.U.P.K. Because believe it or not, you're more of a target than what you think you are.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you right now. Why you think they locked up them Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers and all that? And then there was a podcast not too long ago where one of the Oath Keepers said that if this government continues to go the way it's going, that politicians will become targets for political assassination. He said this on YouTube. And you got the nerve to be giving static to the UPK? Your energy is well misplaced.
Yep.
It very is. You just don't know. A lot of you walking around, you black politicians in some, especially in the South, a lot of you walking around thinking that you immune from this type of reaction. You walking around not knowing about the race card and not knowing about what issues we should really be dealing with, and you misappropriating funds to these different fabricated minority groups, mainly the LGBTQI plus mafia this month.
Right.
You doing all that? You supporting the dark side of the rainbow? You supporting abortion? And you think that these people not going to target you? You a target. We telling you right now, you a target.
Yeah,
if they going at the Supreme Court over abortion and can find their home address where their wives and children stay at, don't think you're not a target. We've been blowing the trumpet for years on, and we continue to blow the trumpet. A lot of you acting like you deaf, but you're gonna find out.
Right.
This what Captain Mashak is showing on this video is coming to a city and a county near you.
That's right.
I yield, Captain.
Yeah, they've been kicking in all doors for forever. You know what I mean? And they did nothing. It's, you know, the Lord turning it back right on them. The Lord turning it back right on them. And I deserve you so right. Like, tried to warn Tario about it, right? The so-called leader of the Proud Boys, and he doesn't understand the game. You know what I mean? He doesn't understand. He doesn't understand. You know how war really operates. You know what I mean? And he was a pawn. He was sitting in the king's seat, but he was a pawn on their chessboard, which is absolutely. I mean, he got to feel betrayed and set up and all type of shit. Because he's the so-called leader of the Proud Boys, but he's got no power, no say in nothing. He just had to sit there and take it. But once again, that's democracy for him. You know what I mean? That's democracy. Like, look at this here, boy. Good night. That's not a tour. That's not a tour. They didn't come for a tour. They didn't come for a tour.
Can I say one thing, Kevin?
Please.
About Enrique? And the thing about it is, and Enrique was already on the informant list already. I think he already cooperated with the feds years ago. So we got I told they the proud rats, okay? And a lot of you out there, and that's why I got to get back up to DC with you, Captain Shot. Because I'm gonna tell you something. Listen, boy, oh boy, listen, they out there acting like they against the government. a lot of it's same thing with you bikers that come down to Washington D.C. every year for the Memorial Day and all the you biker gang talking about you an outlaw, but then you say you support the police. That's a conflict of interest. How you an outlaw and you down there supporting the police?
Right.
You a rat.
Mm-hmm.
I just gotta say it. You part of a biker gang, but you coming out here saying I stand with the police. What kind of outlaw are you? You're a hypocrite, man. You playing both sides of the fence, and we know you working with the government. You ain't fooling us.
You're the outlaw. He an in-law.
Right, you right. You in-law. You riding down there with
in-law. You want to be in-law.
You want to ride down there looking tough with your motorcycle gang. Got the outlaw patch on the back, but then saying you down here for to support the police. Well, who you fooling, man? You ain't fooling the UPK. You know what I'm saying? They in there singing like, especially when he get rid of white supremacists, he gonna be singing like a songbird. He gonna be in protective custody. You understand? But like what the brother said earlier, the general warned him. We tried to warn him and told him how it's gonna play out. You just a figurehead. Yeah. That's all you are in that organization. They just prop you up there for their racial resume. Mm-hmm. They had to make you a part of that and put you up there for their racial resume. And now look, now you took the fall.
Yeah.
I yield.
And I'm about to rat on everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. And so like, yeah, I just sitting on here thinking that I think the news came out too that they knew about it before they knew about this protest was going to take place.
Yeah.
But it didn't take it serious, like they didn't take none of the mass shooting serious. When it comes to that, to their people, they don't take it serious until the day it happened. Right. Then it's like, you know what I mean, then you know what I mean, they're about making plans. Right. You know what I mean? Then they're about, you know what I mean, trying to, you know what I mean, take care of the issue. You know what I mean? Which goes to show you that the terrorism that the Lord gonna bring on this place is gonna be, you know what I mean, Esau ain't ready for it. He ain't gonna be ready for it at all.
Yeah. Yeah. He definitely not. They wouldn't understand. They don't understand what's going on. Once again, this is how the scripture talk about the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Like all the footage we showing, even the one before with the camera that fell, and you seeing it from like, you know, like laying on your back up. That's the shit. Like that was not a creative decision. That was, you know, the mob done push through and the cameraman fall. Mm-hmm. Or the police camera fall. You know what I mean? Like people would see all of that and still remain Christians. Just like this one here, Tario. He spoke with John explained to him, and while this video was going on, there was in the back clowning and doing all kind of homosexual stuff to the brother. Remember, you know, hugging him and trying to kiss him. One came up right to him and was blowing smoke in his ear. And that's showing you the total lack of respect for him, but yet still he is still the leader. You know what I mean? He is still the leader, and even in here, he had put his name up as noble lead, like a nobleman. And we had to change it to the leader of the Proud Boys. Then he put chairman of the Proud Boys because, you know, he done drank the Kool-Aid. You know, in this society, once you're a Christian, you're a victim. And now he had to face it. You know what I mean? So we could move on with that. I know we have a few more stories, about 30 minutes to go. I don't know if you all want to that story from we call it Maryland with that shooting. I don't know if you all heard about that one. Sachi, you can pull it for me, or Zania?
You said the one from Maryland, sir?
Yeah, I think it's number 3 on the list.
Sir.
I already got it up, sir. Salagi, California. I got it up, sir. If you want me to go ahead and...
Okay. Yeah, please, if you could.
Headline says, Salagi, 3 people died in a shooting at a Maryland manufacturing facility, officials say. 3 people died and 3 people were injured after a shooter opened fire at a manufacturing facility in Smithsburg, Maryland, officials say. The male suspect is one of the 3 people injured. According to the Washington County Sheriff's Office, the shooting took place just after 2:30 p.m. at Columbia Machine in Smithsburg, about 75 miles west of Baltimore. During the news conference Thursday evening, authorities identified the 3 people killed as Mark Allen Frey, who was 50, Charles Edward Minnick Jr., 31, and Joshua Robert Wallace, 30. The 4th victim, Brandon Chase Michael, 40, was critically injured in the shooting He was taken to a nearby hospital for treatment. It says the suspect, who was only identified as a 23-year-old male, used a semi-automatic handgun in the shooting. It says, at this time, as a quote, "At this time, I can confirm all the victims and the suspect were current employees of Columbia Machine, Inc., Mullendorf said. Following the shooting, the suspect fled the area but was quickly found by Maryland State Police a few roads down from the scene, according to officials. A state trooper and the suspect shot at each other, leaving both injured and taken to a nearby hospital for treatment."
Did they say like why he went in there and did do what he did? It seemed like he's disgruntled over something, because I think he's slave there, right?
He was slaving there. He was slaving there. It doesn't give a reason why he did it, but he was an employee, and the 3 people he killed were also employees. That's a wild thing, and he went in there and lit them up early that what is Wednesday or Thursday morning. Lit their behinds up, and once again, you know, that's the way this place is heading. This place is heading to a whole ton of recklessness. You know what I mean? With these oppressors, and they didn't show his face yet, right? They haven't identified his. They haven't identified him yet.
Right, but they took him into custody.
They did take him into custody.
You know? They wound him. They didn't fatally take him out. Him, and he got brought to the hospital for treatment. You know, you typically, you know, that usually means it's, you know, one of the oppressors. You know?
Yeah. If I could, sir, like you said, this is going to be more and more commonplace in America as this place continues to fall. Like the crunch is the pinch is being felt on all sides. You know what I'm saying, to the people of this place. The gas prices are rising. I mean, in Tennessee, we've seen about a 30% increase in all rental prices over the past 2 years.
Yeah, that's
right. You know what I'm saying? Esau on the slavery where I worked during the whole pandemic, it was y'all essential workers and we love you and need you. Now it's we at full capacity with the employees we got, so now we're gonna expect the crunch, expect for some people to be getting laid off. You know what I'm saying? Like the oppression is back in full swing, and people have, you know what I'm saying. We know Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians. We've learned survival. We've learned how to, you know, adapt and adjust ourselves to the different ups and downs of this place. But the oppressor is not prepared for it. He doesn't know how to handle hardship. He doesn't know how to handle difficulty. He doesn't know how to handle switching into survival mode the way the slaves have been accustomed to doing. And so you're going to see him shooting up the offices, shooting, you know what I'm saying, jumping out of the goddamn building. Just wait until that the damn market values go down a little bit more. One more downturn in the market, and you're gonna see Edomites jumping out of them offices and them buildings in New York City and in Washington, D.C., in Silicon Valley. You know what I'm saying? And the Lord is bringing it. If you're a Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian, and you're working around these people, as this place continues to grow worse and the oppression continues to tighten, as you grow closer to the Most High, you're gonna be hearing us warn you to watch out for what it is that these devils are doing, because when it hits the fan, they coming to their job and they taking aim at you.
Yes, sir. Right. And as Jeremiah Hyman said to you, brothers and sisters, you all need to get in class. You know what I mean? You don't get saved on that day. That day is too late. You understand? You get saved before that day. So you better get in class and learn how to serve the Lord, so that on that day he could protect you.
Yes, right.
You could have your gun, you could have whatever ammunition on you. You're gonna die. You understand? If you're not with the Lord on that day.
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
And the Edomites is even afraid. Like the shootings, I'm at my slavery, and Kevin Hart, he gonna come to Buffalo, right? So the Edomite at my slavery, he's 6'5", 300 something pounds, big old huge ex-military. He at my slavery going, I'm not going to that. I'm not going to go to see Kevin Hart. It's in Buffalo. I look at him, I go, why wouldn't you go? He said, because the white supremacist is going to come and shoot up the Kevin Hart, because it's going to be all Black people there. And I'm looking at him like,
he's supposed to feel safer. He's supposed
but the white supremacist, he going to shoot you too? He's like, I just don't want to even be around. I said, man, if the devil is like this, if he afraid, you get what I'm saying? It's time for us to truly lock in to where the true power is. The Most High, Yahweh Shai, man. Like, there's no other option. He was an ex-military talking to me, telling me, he ain't going to the black comedy show because he knows he's going to get shot up. I said,
he telling you so you could give him an alibi when he goes to the comedy show and shoot him.
Right.
That's why he telling you that. He telling you that because he know you're Israelite, you upstanding, your word is bond. When the cops come and ask you, so did he say anything? Yeah, he said he was scared of the shooter. It couldn't be him. And that's why he's going. He's going now. He's going there for that. You know what I mean? And for sure, like what Saka was bringing up for sure is right. Where we've always been on the bottom. We've always had to make $1 out of 10, 15 cents. We've always had to make miracles with with things, invent meals. You know what I mean? Make meals. A lot of these meals that these oppressors, serving as cuisines, like that was, that was struggle food. That was poor food. That was, what's in the cabinet. That's what that was. That's what was in the cabinet at that time. So for us, our economy done crashed already. We don't have an economy, to save or to crash. We used to this type of living.
That's right. We
used to, the stress that comes with job security, which is a lot of these oppressors could not handle with the COVID. You understand? We were used to that whole situation. So coming out of the COVID and it's sometimes, being in here, you could take it for granted. Like the Lord really insulated us from a lot of the hell that people was going through for them 2 years. Like our life ain't peaches and creams and a bed of rose. But there's some things we definitely did not have to taste at all that people in the world had to go through. And you have that level of stress that they've, been coming out of from the COVID. Now with this job thing, now with the gases going up, shortages here. Some of them Edomites is living next to them Afghanis and them Ukrainians who come in and getting houses, getting jobs. They're going to lose it. The society is going to go into that direction, but it's not going to be us. It's absolutely not going to be us. We've already been, under the heel of America. What's happening now is that, again, Satan fighting against Satan. Now the oppressor is under the heel of America.
That's right.
Now that machine he built is eating him up.
That's right. Most
him alive. So you're gonna see way more of that. Somewhere in these one of these stories is a article about Silicon Valley struggling. Silicon Valley is struggling. All them economic pundits is predicting, a crash of the economy, talking about how much they increase the printing of the money to keep up with debt. Like this place is really it's as a general say years ago, Commander GEN.YAHANNA said years ago, like this place is an illusion. This place is an absolute illusion. Right. And only because of Christianity our people still think there's something to be upheld or there's something to still get out of this kingdom.
Officer Arawadia, he sent me the article with the identified the brother. I seen brother.
Is that brother who do it?
It looked like a Hispanic. Salakia. Jose.
Go ahead.
Jose. What's his name? Jose. I'll tell you this now. Jose Luis Esquivel.
No sweat. If even if it's a brother, it's the mark of the beast. It's it's going in that direction.
That's right.
The thing is the mark of the beast. You know what I mean? So this at this time, like black people really we just have to withdraw from this place.
Yeah,
we gotta fully withdraw from this place. However, sin feels good. Your vices, our lust, those things feel good, and this place provides it. This place provides it. You know what I mean? Like the price of gas going up, but them drug prices and them whore prices staying the same. You know what I mean? That's staying the same. That fentanyl staying, it's still affordable. still affordable. So it lets you know, like, to really come out of America, you had to cut yourself off. You had to kill that old man. You had to kill that old woman.
That's
and
it.
to die and be born again and be absolutely brand new, because you have no idea how much this place is integrated with your soul and your spirit. You understand? That's why it's so hard to see what's going on. That's why it's so hard to hear what's being said, and why it's so hard to separate from this kingdom, because you know, damn near some kind of symbiotic relationship. It's like a parasite with a host. You plugged in. It's the Matrix. That's damn near how they describe it in the movie. You plugged into it so much. You're reading about the shootings. You're reading about Ukraine. You're reading about the war. But I could get high. But I could go have sex with these whores. You have a whole Pride Month. Muriel Bowser damn near take over DC, brother. If I show you where she block off, it's like damn near where the hell to go. Where the hell to go? Like anywhere you go, it's you in the march. So now you have all of that lust being fed and cultivated and, you know, promoted. It's very hard to detach from this place if you're Israelite. It's hard. You know what I mean? That's what's going on. If that's a brother, he walked up in there and did that, you know, he's absolutely lost. And that's why it should get out of there. That's why it should come to the truth, because there's to live in the world at this time, you are going to get your heart broken.
That's right.
You're going to be a jilted lover, and a jilted lover will do anything to the thing it loves.
That's right.
And that thing that broke its heart is going to kill it. It's going to harm it, it's going to destroy it, and cry over it after. You get the point? And cry over it after. Like I mean, you shouldn't remain out there. Please,
It's so heavy what you're saying, Captain. Our King Yahweh told us, don't build our houses on sand. Build it on the rock, meaning a solid foundation.
Right.
What you're saying is so right, because even going into everybody's talking about mental health right now.
Right.
But the UPK, we've told you that your mental health is directly connected to your spiritual health.
That's right.
And even in the Bible talks about the renewing of your mind. And a lot of our people, they're going to lose it as this place begins to fall. Why? Because their dreams and hopes have been placed in America.
Yeah.
And America, and not only America, but what America provides. You understand? But there is no commercial for failure. And confidence has no stat sheet. And when you look at all the things that goes on in America and sees what goes on, and you're hoping this and you putting your faith in America, when your job gives you the pink slip, when you don't get that raise or that promotion, and then you lose it. This is what happened. This is an example of that. And that's across the board. Like Captain Shock said, it's this place. It's the spirit behind this place.
Yeah.
Even those that come from across the border that come here that have some kind of a righteous mentality, over time this place wears on you. And the corruption, which is why the scriptures even say, don't lay up your treasures where moth and rust doth corrupt.
Yep.
Corrupt is short for corruption. Don't put lay up your treasures with the Lord, man. Because this place here is corrupt. In every aspect of the word, it's polluted. Captain Mashak said something that was so heavy and it's so spiritual. How he talks about that this like a parasite, man. You know what I'm saying? The spirit of this place, like he compared it to the Matrix. But even in the medical field, they even talk we're dealing with this COVID-19 and all these other viruses. Every virus needs a host.
Yeah,
that's right.
And it's the spiritual concept also with an unclean spirit. It needs a host. It needs a platform.
That's right.
And any lust you have, there's a platform for it right now.
Yeah.
I think about that story of Job, where the Lord asked Satan, "Whence comest thou?" And he told him, "I'm going to and fro in the earth, seeking." You know what I'm saying? I'm going up and down the earth.
Right.
He's still having that conversation right now. But now Satan is saying, I got a YouTube channel now. I got these many followers. I got an Instagram. You know, where you coming from? You know what? I got this channel. I got these many likes. I got, yeah, he's a subscriber. Yeah. Yeah, that brother there, he's a subscriber. He's subscribed to my channel. That's right.
You got followers.
Right. I got followers. I got over 1 million followers. I'm business is good.
I'm trending right now.
I'm trending right now.
Topics.
Right. I got the Lord Harvey. I got Will Smith. Like he trending now. He's doing it now through a computer. Through the World Wide Web, man.
Yeah.
I mean, this thing here is heavy, man, but this is how we know that the Bible is past, present, and future. It's never outdated, man.
Right.
Actually, like Mashak said before, Captain Mashak said, it's ahead of its time. You got to catch up.
Right.
You understand? I just wanted to make that point, Captain. It's like I yield.
Nah, it's the wild.
Yeah. I said, like, Kahan, what's that phrase you said in the beginning where it says spirituality is connected to what?
You talking about what he said? Every you talking about the parasite or every virus?
No. What you said?
Health is connected to your spiritual health.
Yeah. The mental health and spiritual health.
Yeah, it's connected to its spirituality, right?
Yes, sir.
And that is what America tried to separate. And now you split in two. So you have a bunch of people walking around here bipolar. Now you being two, you trying to be two persons. Which one you gonna be? You know what I mean? You're gonna be American or you're gonna be Israelite. Which one? Yeah. And you was your mind totally in that toss up. And now guess what? One day Satan just take hold of you and that's it. You're gonna take that gun and just go be American on that day. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then be the Israelite in jail, regretting it.
Right.
Right.
You're so right with that, because like you look at another country that is totally homogeneous. It's, you know, where if like the Hindus, the East Indian, they in India and they worship in the elephant and Lakshmi and whoever, and they don't have identity crisis.
Yeah.
You understand? They don't have that. If the identity crisis exists, it's because of the oppressor coming in. Just like here. You get the point? Like the Chinese, they don't have an identity crisis issue. They don't have that situation. But once again, separation of church and state means you could create this melting pot, means you could create amendments, means you have wiggle room where you could decide when something is alive in the hospital. But of course, something growing on a planet that you can't drive to, that there's life there. You understand? There's life over there. Like, it gives you so much wiggle room to just play the Lord, to play God. And as the scripture says, sit in the heart of God's people as God. You know what I mean? So we definitely had to come back to the Lord and all his laws, all his ways, his culture, his people, to really, you know, to be sane. Because living in this place is going to drive you somewhere else.
That's right.
Drive you somewhere else. As you watch this place collapse, you're going to wonder, well, damn, how come they ain't killing them like they're killing us?
That's right.
How come they ain't doing to them like what they do us? And without the truth, what you would want to do, you would, even amongst our people, you would, without the truth in the world, you would now start justifying the ills we do in the world just as a counteraction to them justifying their bullshit.
Like
you would now start to say, well, you know, well, yeah, I'm gonna go light up this one or do this. You know what I mean? Like you don't know what to do. You don't know what to do because we totally separated from the Lord. We separated from the church and the state, which is
right.
You know what I mean?
If I could, Captain Mashak, what you're saying is heavy because, and this is for anybody who may be tuning in that doesn't understand exactly what it is that we teach in I.S.U.P.K. The Bible is our culture.
That's right.
The Bible is not a religious book. This platform is not about spouting religion. It is about teaching Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians what their culture is that was given to us by God. And included in any man's culture is the laws and the rules that they live by. Its culture is, you know, acceptable practices that governs a society and how you move. What your morality is, you know what I mean? What you accept and what you don't accept. what you do and what you don't do, what you eat and what you don't eat. How do you go about deciding, you know, marriage and building your community and establishing, you know, government? This is that for Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians. That's what the I.S.U.P.K is. This is the place where you come to learn your culture. This is the place where you come to get what is the government of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. How do we protect ourselves? How do we proceed in dealing with forces outside of our community that may mean us harm or could benefit us? Those answers are in the Bible. And the evil of America with the plan of the whole division of church and state was to try and get you to separate yourself politically and culturally from what it is that God gave to us. Like, how many people do we know? How many Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians that have been taught in America and been brainwashed believe in Jesus Christ and he died for our sins, but you support abortion, you support LGBTQ,
right? Yeah.
For the government, you're for over policing and the prison industrial complex. You cannot rectify those things, and you shouldn't try to rectify them because the Bible doesn't give you any separation between those things. The Bible, you have to obey yourself and be and serve the Lord, and that makes you righteous. And the laws of God gives you judgments for those who are unrighteous. And it tells you what should be done with those who don't want to obey the Lord and don't want to serve him. There cannot be any division. So in these times that we're living in, what Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians need to do is come back to the culture that God gave us.
That's right.
Come back to these laws and these rules and this structure and this government, which has been delivered to us, so that as the government of our oppressor fails, and as their culture devolves, you understand, into their true nature, we can be the people that God called us to be, so that we can be delivered and escape the hell that's coming on this place, man.
That's right.
Yep. Right. If I could say one thing too, a lot of those, especially those civil rights people, those who are, there's a lot of them that's still alive in that civil rights era. Now, those same ones who challenge us and say there is a separation of church and state, when you pose the question, were you separate and equal, separate but equal under segregation? You watch how their face turn.
Yeah.
Watch the response. They're gonna say, well, there was no separate but equal. We had to join to be equal. But then when you bring up that, well, there's no separation of church and state because white supremacy has a hand in all of it.
That's right.
Then they have to look stupid because they don't want to deal with the facts. All the UPK is bringing out is the facts, and you know it.
That's right.
We bring fact after fact, and like once again, all these stories Captain Mashak bring up that we bring up on the Black Watch. Captain Mashak, we don't work for the Associated Press. We don't work for Fox News. We don't work for these political pundits.
No.
We're just showing you the evidence and giving you what God says in his word. And then now you want to get mad with the UPK, man. It's going to have to stop, man. If it don't stop, you're going to see the Lord. He going to flex his hand like he always do.
Right.
He's been warning you for a long, long time, man. And like, you know, the Lord, you know, his spirit ain't going to always strive with men. You're going to keep pressing the Lord, keep pressing him. And guess what's going to happen? You're going to see, right? Once again, January 6th, don't think it's not going to come to your city. You black politicians, don't think it's not going to come to you. Don't think it ain't going to come to your church. Where you made a political statement about this and about that. Don't think it ain't going to come there.
Right.
You understand? The Lord is going to let it happen because we at the end, man. It's time to come together under the righteous institution. These institutions you have are failing. The doors of the church are closed. You see, they closed the damn Capitol building. These things are they're not non-functional for you. And if you see, if they losing faith in these politicians, the institution is gonna follow.
That's right.
The institutions are gonna follow. And when that, and what happens when that happens? People begin to exercise lordship. That's what happens.
Yeah.
That's what happens in these societies. All you got to do is look at every empire when it starts to fracture. the different groups start to exercise lordship over their own communities. And what the scriptures say, every nation gonna turn back to his own people.
That's right.
We bring that out all the time. You Christians hate to hear that. You think we all gonna be in a utopia and we're gonna sing Kumbaya? No, they're not. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna be singing "Tear the Club Up." They're gonna be saying. They ain't gonna be saying. Everybody ain't gonna be. Oh, we all one. They're gonna be like, you know, who you with? That's what he's gonna be with. So that's all I gotta say. I yield, Cap.
Yeah, because as this place go, you know, even though this kingdom fall, remember what's in you is the culture of the oppressor.
That's right.
Like it's not the Lord's ways that are in you. What's in you is absolutely the culture of the oppressor. You get the point? That's what's in you. So even if you get put in a desert somewhere with resources, but just whatever is your locale, wherever you live, the people over there, all you're gonna do is become the white man to them.
That's right.
All you're gonna do is just become him. Because you don't have the spirit of the Lord in you.
That's
you don't
right.
have, which is, I mean, it's like which is, you know, why the Lord say, you know, you gotta come out of her. You know what I mean? So that you don't partake in her plagues. You gotta, like, that coming out of America is not a physical coming out, but a spiritual and it's a separation of you from America. That's separation of church and state. Like if anything is separation of church and state, it's the church, which biblically, the biblical definition of church is a gathering of Israelites, and we should be separated from the state, so that when this place falls, we can rule how the Lord wants it to be ruled. You know what I mean? That's really the separation of church and state that needs to happen. Because even this, you know, they see the brothers posting about this rapper from Atlanta who got killed.
Trouble.
Yeah, the troubled brother, right? And you know, he was with some woman who got divorced from her husband or broke up with her husband 1 week before. And you know, the outcry, the popular outcry from people on social media is the brother who came back was wrong because he broke into the house, he beat up the girl, and this and that. And of course, we don't condone no kind of violence up in here. But this is why the Lord hates divorce. It doesn't matter if that man and his woman going through something. You got to stay away from her. And you can't get a word for it that they broke up. Remember, the scripture says she's a possession. And with no disrespect to the sisters, you know, a vehicle doesn't tell you who it belongs to. The owner of the vehicle tells you, yes, you can take this car now, or no, this car is still mine. You can't take it. Like that's the level of, you know, integrity and honor we had to have for each other. Like, you dead in this man's bed with his damn woman. Shameful. Shameful. You know, and this is, and once again, I'm not knocking the brother more than anybody else in the world, because coming from the world standard, that's normal. Normal thing for the world standard. She could, she and him in gang together, you could go in there. You know what I mean? He ain't treating her right. You go in there. Like, we really have to step away from this kingdom.
That's right.
If we're gonna survive. Because even without the oppressor, we're gonna be doing the oppressor's way of life. We'll just erect America again. We'll just erect Egypt again in spirit. You know what I mean? It ain't gonna have no monument, ain't gonna have no Washington Capitol and, you know, the National Mall, but there will be adultery and OnlyFans everywhere. There will be, you know, getting high and drug dealing every goddamn way, and child molestation and homosexuality everywhere. So really, the real separation of church and state is Revelation 8:18-4. Come out of my people. You get the point? And that is
heavy, Cap. That is heavy, Captain Mashak. It's because, you know, they thinking when we say, you know, the oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of, and you hear people say, well, get rid of the oppressor and we'll be all right. Nah, you bringing out something so heavy, sir, because we can see it now as what we claim to be culture. When I say we, I'm talking about Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We think our culture is twerking. We think our culture is drugs and drug dealing. Like, we think smoking a blunt is our culture. But what you're saying is so heavy when all those things are white supremacy.
Yeah.
If we think the LGBT joining the black You know, you see the pride flag with the Black Power fist inside of the pride flag. We thinking that us coming together, that's Black culture. Now these things is all Black culture. You had another article, sir. I didn't want to really go into it, but talking about how they compare abortion to slavery. You know, and then look at the month of June. Now June is Gay Pride Month. Right. When they gave us the one day last year, Juneteenth, and then they went ahead and took the whole month. And we thinking that all these things coming together, oh, that's Black culture. It's just Black culture to twerk. It's Black culture to murder, to have a bang on you, to shoot somebody up. It's all Black culture. That's just part of our culture. That's part of who we are. It is absolutely not. Those are the things that are white supremacy. And Captain Mashak brought it out. If we didn't have the white supremacists, we still would have the philosophy and mindset of white supremacy because we think that is our culture. Yeah, we've been embedded with it so long and embraced it and loved it so much. We think Republican and Democrat is Black culture. We think the Democratic Party is Black culture. Yeah. You can't tell a Black politician that the Democrats ain't for Black people and it ain't part of Black culture. We swear up and down it's part of Black culture. You feel what I'm saying? And we don't cancel nothing because, oh, you got to be tolerant and open to this and open to that. When absolutely all these things are white supremacy. The only Black culture, and I heard Captain Mashak say it years ago, the only way that you defeat white supremacy is Black supremacy. And this Bible is our culture. There is no other book on the planet. There is no other doctrine, no other philosophy, no other ideology, no political spectrum or setup. Nothing truly shows what our culture is except these laws, statutes, and commandments in this Bible, man, all the way through Genesis to Revelation.
Yeah, that's right. If I could, I know we right up on the time, but you know, you for sure our war is with the oppressor, but that's the external war. That's the thing we had to fight to get him out of our neighborhoods, out of our schools. But then you have that internal war where you had to fight to get his culture out of you, because now you have just this last picture here I want to show. You have this caravan that they say is approaching the border. It says what it was estimated at 11,000, but they think it's more so 15,000. And this is Israelites coming to the land of the oppressor because the oppressor done destroy their kingdom, their life, their land. And they're risking life and limb and sickness and health and hunger coming over. Now imagine, you know, that they fall up under the UPK, under any officer up in here. Like our biggest fight, just like what happened with Moses leaving out of Egypt. Like we was able to be separated from the oppressor, but the lifestyle was sewn into us. It was sewn into the fabric of our being. The way we breathe was the breathing of the oppressor. You get the point? That's what we were familiar with. So much so that when you look at most of them laws, brother, it was so anti-Egypt. It was so anti-Egypt, and it's the same thing. Like we're gonna have to prepare for this. We're gonna have to prepare for this, which is why the UPK is such a holy and special place where everything about us is different to the way of life. It's so different to the current. It's like the trout. Which one is the one that swims upstream? Is it trout?
Salmon.
The river flowing one way, the salmon swimming the other way and looking like a crazy fish. But that UPK is that thing that goes against the current, that goes against it, because when it comes to getting our people, again, you're gonna be on the battlefield facing the oppressor. But no, we gotta know you damn near gonna have to go to war with your people to get whatever it is out.
So Lockie.
Go ahead.
It's so right what you're saying, Captain, because you know Moses told Pharaoh to let his people go. But then after the Lord delivered the people out of Egypt, he had to tell the people, in essence, to let Pharaoh go, because they made a golden calf. When Moses, you know, when he delayed his coming from that mountain, when he didn't come when they thought he should come back, they told Aaron, they said, make us gods. And they built a golden calf, man. You know what I'm saying? Which is in the spirit of Egypt, man. Like you said, our laws were anti that empire and those other empires that became, you know, after, because what, to keep us separate, man. And our mindset, our spirit, the spirit of this place, like you said, Captain, is so right. You would move us from out of this place in a land of our own without taking that spirit out of us, then for sure you're gonna have America 2.0.
Yep.
You're gonna have Egypt or Babylon all over again, and because why? We haven't been cleansed, we haven't been born again. You understand? That old person had, and which is a fight. But this is where you come to get the tools to do that, man. Because the Bible said what Christ said: the harvest is plenteous and the laborers are few.
That's right.
Like, we got work to do, man. We got so much work, you know what I'm saying, to do in this nation before our king returns, that we got to get to work, man. And a lot of you are playing out there. You playing with the Lord, man. You playing with the UPK. You got to stop it, man. We got look at these brothers and sisters coming over, man.
Yeah,
they're gonna come over and these and so it's, I think about that scripture where it talks about sheep, and I think about how much of them gonna be led astray and preyed upon when they come to this land, when they get close to the border, and how they gonna be exploited, and how they gonna be separated, and how they got health issues and all kind of things, and not gonna be cared for, man. Just for the hope of having a better life.
Yeah.
That's what Christ promised us. He said, in my Father's house, there's many mansions. He didn't lie to us. He said, if it wasn't so, I wouldn't have told you. But we right here living like nomads in this God-forsaken place you call America. You understand? Right. Let's go ahead and build a kingdom that the Lord said to build. And it starts with you. The kingdom of heaven is within you.
That's right.
I yield, Captain.
Yeah.
It's a lack here.
I'm sorry, go ahead now.
Yeah, it's a lot here, man. Just look at, you know, me brothers and sisters that are coming through here, man. Like, you hear the news about, you know, I mean, what's going on in America. You hear the news of what they're doing to the children on the border, and you still leaving your country to make that journey. You can imagine the state of their country. You can imagine, you know, I mean, what the oppressor, what America has done to their country to have these people, you know, I mean, think, well, it was here, it still might be a little better there. You know what I mean? And your kids in cages.
Yep.
You understand? Like, it's mind-boggling, man.
It's what I was saying earlier, Nathak, where once you're in the world, the way you rationalize things is way different. And like how the scriptures say, you know, cursed shall you be in the field and the city. Wherever you go, the curses will follow you, because why? What we hold dear to our hearts is that oppressor and his way of life. So no matter where we go, we think we're running from something, but we're bringing it with us.
Yeah.
You understand? Like, no matter where you could go, like, you know, it doesn't really matter unless you totally separate from the oppressor spiritually and mentally and come into the truth. That's when now you can start to, you know, have some breathing ground. But, you know, this is not here to say that they should not come or go back. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, you know, there's an immense responsibility we are going to be faced with as this kingdom falls. And now is the time to really fight for that inner man, that man and that woman who's inside. Like, you know, the white man is the devil. We know that. We know the nations are against us. We know the Lord hates them. But boy, you have to know, you have to turn inside and make sure you all the way right, or else you are going to erect America again. You're going to do it, and you're going to think it's just going to be America with fringes. It's going to be America. It's going to be, you know, it's going to be Jerusalem with an obelisk. I'm speaking in spirit, of course. Like, we're going to have to really prepare for something that's, you know, is really beyond us. Like, the Lord has to be with us to handle the situation. It could only be achieved the right way, again, by separating church from state, the Israelites, the body of Christ from this state of America that we have here. Because, boy, it's an absolute rough situation. This is a rough situation here. And as you say, you're running from hell, thinking you're choosing a lesser hell, the lesser of two evils.
Right.
But, you know, just like what happened in the it was the Hippodrome in New Orleans with Katrina.
The Superdome.
the Superdome, when people was getting robbed, sisters was getting violated. Like, it's because we not even though we segregated physically, we not separated. You get the point? Our mind is not separated from the oppressor.
That's right.
You can imagine what's happening along this caravan.
Come. So, and just one more thing I had to say too, man, brothers and sisters, if you're looking at this, you know what I mean, you should not have tears for Ukraine.
No.
You know what I mean? Have tears for these people.
Yeah.
Damn right.
You understand what I'm saying? Don't have tears for Ukraine whatsoever. You know what I mean? Not because you're hearing bombs going off in a country means, you know what I mean, nothing isn't happening. You know what I mean? Things are happening in the country that is not being reported. That's why they're running, they're fleeing. You know what I mean? By the thousands.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They need your tears. They need all your prayers. They need everything, all the resources. They're going to need it, not Ukraine. Ukraine will be just fine.
That's right.
They're getting billions of dollars.
That's
right. Mr. Lockett, I'm so sick of hearing the president of Ukraine begging every week. Every time he turn on the camera in that basement, he begging. Every time I turn on those, you know what? Oh yeah, we need 100 missiles. We need $50 more million. Stop capping and go cap. Stop, get out there and fight. Stop. Every week I'm seeing him, and he never say, well, you know, this our progress we made last. You just begging every week. Every week you asking for it. Pull yourself up by your Ukrainian bootstraps.
Right.
Stop begging every week. I'm sick of Salah. I just had to say that, Captain. I thought every time I turn on these begging.
For sure, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be a rough one. It's gonna be a rough one, and for sure, you know what I mean. All Israel out there, you'll continue paying your tithes, man. Send them tithes and support the truth.
That's right.
You know what I mean. Fight yourself, fight your oppressor. And I'm not talking about go out there and take up no guns or nothing like that. But you could start returning away from his holidays, man. You come into the truth. You start like Paul even said, have them abstain from meats to idols and them holy days that the oppressor celebrates. That was the start, because Paul understood for sure, coming from the other side, how difficult it was to come out of the world if that's all you knew. And that's all you know. But in here, you get the tools, as Kahan was saying, to rebuild yourself and to fight that good fight. So now when you have that whole crew coming in there, that's 11,000, 14,000, 15,000 people. And that's just one group from a conglomerate of countries. We ain't talking about the rest of Israel. You know what I mean? We ain't talking about Argentina, Naphtali, Peru, Bolivia. You get the point? We ain't talking about all of that, all the Caribbean islands. We ain't talking about who's scattered across in Europe and the eastern half of the world. Like, we have a whole lot of work to do. You get the point? While this empire fights against itself, we preparing for the next kingdom. You understand? We preparing for the next empire to serve the next leader, which is not a democratically elected process. But our leader is already there, which, you know, so all we had to do now is prepare to take that position that the Lord wants us to have, which we demand that we separate from the state. We separate from the state and build that brotherhood of Christ the way it's supposed to be built, and take care of things the way it's supposed to be taken care of. You know what I mean? And give the judgment that's the judgment of the Lord. You know what I mean? Like that little case with that situation with that brother this week. Like, people in the world are so lost to right from wrong. Some people were even saying, well, he had no right to come in there because he wasn't married to the girl. Like simple things like that. We don't have weapons in this war. We really don't. We think we could handle it, but as a people, there's so much we need to relearn and know. And small, and that thing that happened is happening all over. It's just these are celebrities.
Right.
There's celebrities, but that's happening all over the world, all over in each of the 12 tribes. That is something so small is just to understand, but you could only find that in the UPK. You only find it in the school of UPK and the command, GEN.YAHANNA. We over the time, about 20 minutes. Kahan, you'll go ahead and take us out of here, you know what I mean? Please.
Oh, Most High in Christ. I just want to say the water to Commander GEN.YAHANNA.
That's right.
You know, head of I.S.U.P.K. Like Captain Shock said earlier, I would take the water for all the captains. Me being on here with all the captains on Black Watch, and make sure you pay your tithes, sending your donations. Man, is paramount. all the brothers out there in the UPK, the ones that have a ranking position, hold your post, continue to do what you've been doing, continue to battle. All the sisters that's out there that support the school, support the brothers, support your husband, stay down with them. You know what I'm saying? We in the hellified fight. But make sure that you once again, if you know we right, hit like. If you really care, you need to hit share. You know what I'm saying? The UPK, we not number one, we the only one.
That's right.
That's right. That's right. Most sides correct. Y'all know every Monday night live at 9 p.m. is Black Watcher Command and GEN.YAHANNA live. You're gonna be on Monday again. Last Monday you did it from DC again to Wonderful General for coming down. And rocking out down here, you know what I mean? Also Monday, every Monday at 6:30 p.m. or 7 p.m. during my Hyman class. Monday and Thursday, 7 p.m. You'll tune in One West online classes on both Facebook and YouTube. Tune into those classes. Monday morning, Let a Hebrew Speak with General Hazayan from 10 a.m. 10 a.m. Let a Hebrew Speak live, Facebook and YouTube. 12 noon. You have the Hidden Truth Reveal with, our very old Captain Azanaya from upstate New York. Hidden Truth Reveal from 12 p.m. Of course, 9 p.m. GEN.YAHANNA live on the Black Watch. Wednesday morning, 11 a.m. You have Ask Ye the Prophets with General Mayak and Officer Yadiah live at 11 a.m. 11 a.m. Then again, Command GEN.YAHANNA is back Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Check him out live. Also, like, share, and subscribe. All these radio shows all over the place. Thursday, is a scripture breakdown class. You're on Hyman every Thursday, 7 p.m. And then 10 p.m., of course, you have the dynamic duo, Captain Tazaria, Captain Katazar. 10 p.m. Cross the Line Radio. That's Eastern Time, live from New York. 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is 10 p.m. West Coast Time. You have, what's the name of their show again?
One West Radio, sir.
One West Radio, god damn. I can never remember the damn thing. One West Radio from the West Coast. Captain Gadal and Captain Kwam, Sabawan, and all the other brothers out there holding it down on the West Coast. Friday, 12 noon, Unplugged from the Matrix with Officer I.S.U.P.K, 12 noon. 12 noon, and I think Captain Yagawa be on there as well, and Sabawan. From North Carolina, Unplugged from the Matrix, 12 noon. At 4 p.m. Eastern Time, that's 9 p.m. GMT time, that's UK time. You have I.S.U.P.K on the ends, live from England, from United Kingdom.
That's right.
Through all the stories happening over there, you could get a pulse on what's going on over there with your people, for sure. And Saturday night, we back here, 9 p.m. all the time, every Saturday with the whole crew. And Sunday, you have Boot Up or Shut Up Radio with Captain Kahan, for sure, and Officer Wanyala, I believe. What time is it called? 9 p.m. on a Sunday?
It usually started around, I want to say 7. Last time we did it, I want to say around 7 p.m.
7 p.m. Sunday, you have Boot Up or Shut Up Radio, Captain Kahan and Officer Wanyala, coming out of Texas down there reporting live from hell. Once again, pay your tithes, man. Tithes. You know what I mean? Don't get slack on it. Pay that 10%, man.
That's right.
That's %. You know what I mean? You see what these oppressors is doing for their country. What are you doing for yours?
That's right.
If you ain't gonna fight, fund it. And if you're fighting, still fund it. You know what I mean? Still fund it. You don't believe in Santa Claus, but you're buying all the goddamn presents and telling your kids Santa Claus buy. Listen, send your tithes in here. I don't care if you're 5%, if you're a conscious community, you're a Christian. Send that 10% in here, man.
That's right.
And with that, we're gonna be back next week, Saturday, Lord allow. With more. Right. Man. To what again, Hebrews for joining us. You know what I mean? Captain Nasdaq. You know what I mean?
Shalom.
Captain Azanaya, Captain Soccer War. Shalom, Israel.
Shalom, Israel.
Shalom, Israel.
Shalom.
take a second, we reflecting with the light, but this the life, I fucking love it. Wouldn't trade it to be white, nah, that's alright. I got the right at birth, the devil's redefining worth.
Someday you'll pay the price.
No, I don't break a fold, I need and bake the dough, then recreate the flow. They think they making dough, what they forsake is so essential. Over lentils, get your issue. Guess who's on this instrumental with you? Gives a damn if we was family, view unread and call it spam. I'm not a fan of Antichrist, they slayed the man, I swayed the Tim like here I am, the son of Sam is taking shots at David Berkowitz. Pussy.
Someday you'll pay the price.
A different discipline existed than this New York state of mind. Say since not no not the actor, but the year we's effort. Not one thing in mind to grind until this gavel turns his words to mirth from Babel.
Since 69, I follow protocol. This kingdom built on God bones, so I can't love Esau, and I can't fuck with y'all. I ain't gotta say it twice, you vouching for the enemy, but
someday you'll pay the price.
Look, my father ain't have a father cause of dope. I'm anti-politics cause Christ died from a vote. How the richest nation locked the homeless up for being cold. How ironic they relating smoking weed to getting stoned. You trim your ways to seek they love. I'ma bring this sword back wet with a vesta dipped in blood. Niggas giving up when they don't even give enough. Going nowhere fast, niggas always in a rush. I give them love cause my brothers lost. Christians eating, watch they brothers starve. No way I can serve another God. I give my love cause my brothers lost. Christians eating, watch they brothers starve. I can't serve another God. Cold-blooded.